Hi guys. I wrote a blog post about this a couple of weeks ago, but got some requests to make a video demo version as well. So here I am showing how we can use Notion AI together with Zapier and OpenAI's GPT image model to automatically create featured images for blog posts for our website. So first, what I'm showing you here is a new page that I have in the Notion database that we use to manage and write our blog posts. And I'm going to write an article just for this about the new Notion AI meeting note feature that they rolled out. It's still in early alpha or beta. Now, I promise this is not how I actually write blog posts, but for the purpose of this example, I am just going to use AI to write this completely from scratch and not even review it. So I'm just going to say, write a blog Notion meeting note feature. And we're just writing from scratch. Feature. Entire review of this feature, um, which actually looks pretty accurate. We're not really going to check it because this is just for an example. Okay, so the next thing I can do, now assuming I've got all my blog post content here, is I need a prompt. So I want to ask ChatGPT to generate an image that goes with this blog post article, but I need to give it an accurate prompt. And so here, what I'm actually doing is using AI to help me write a prompt for another AI, which seems kind of strange, but is super, super useful. So you see here, I have this image prompt AI property in my Notion database. If I click into it, I will show you what's actually in here. So here's a prompt that tells Notion AI what I want it to do with this in this database property. And so what the instructions are basically create a detailed AI prompt for an image suitable to use as featured media for this blog post, meaning the content that we just wrote on the page. It gives some additional instructions about our design sort of look and feel, and even the specific hex codes that we use for our brand palette. So these will automatically self-update, but if I just hit this update button, it'll trigger it sort of manually, and now it's giving me this prompt. And this is what we're going to send to ChatGPT via Zapier. So the next step is this generate image button here. And all of this does is sends an outgoing webhook to a destination, which is in this case Zapier. An outgoing webhook is just sort of like a message payload that one app can send to another application. And all it's going to send is the image prompt that we just generated. So I'm going to go ahead and click this button to trigger that workflow. And next, I will hop over to the Zapier automation, where we can see what happens on the Zapier side. So if I walk through in testing, hit find records, I should see there's a lot of kind of noise in here, but the main thing, actually the only thing that we're looking for is this image prompt. And this is exactly what Notion AI just generated for the blog post that we uh, that we just created. Or sorry, actually, yeah. Okay. Next, um, here's where the sort of magic happens. And this is the API request that we're sending to OpenAI for their new GPT image model, the one that has generated the Studio Ghibli images that went viral. It also generated all of the product manager action figure images that went viral on LinkedIn a few weeks or months ago. It's that same model. And so here's the request that we're sending to the API. And the key thing is we're sending this prompt, the prompt that Notion AI generated, and then some additional parameters like n equals 1, meaning we just want a single image, and size. This is the size of the image that we find works best for our blog posts. So when this runs, it takes a couple of minutes, as you probably already know if you've used the GPT image model. I think it's worth the wait. And when it generates the image, it actually generates it in base 64. So you need to actually, before you can use it, you need to convert it into a usable format that Notion can recognize. So while that's running, I'll just show what these steps are. I use a service called Cloudinary that can convert the base 64 into a more usable format, and it uploads it to cloud storage. And finally, once that is all done, what it does is takes the URL that Cloudinary provides to where the converted image is stored, and it just pastes that into a separate Notion database property I have for the blog posts. There we go. Okay, so now we have this URL. I click in here, I can see the actual image. This is what is generated just based on the prompt that we created about the blog post covering the Notion AI meeting note taking feature. The last thing I need to do if I want to attach this to the Notion page is just save that image to my desktop, and then I can attach it as the cover image for this page. The reason you have to do this step sort of manually is just that Notion hasn't made an API endpoint available for attaching cover images directly. So that's one last step that you have to sort of do manually. But otherwise, you've got an automated process for quickly drafting or editing your blog post content, and then creating a nice OpenAI generated image in the span of a couple of minutes and attaching it to your blog post. So hope this is helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them in the comments. Thanks.